Welcome back, everybody, to AFL Timeline History. And Stokes, we are on to Madden 13 Season 4. And this is interesting to me, Stokes, because at this point in time, Ridge had accounted for 2, 3, 4 AFL Super Bowls. Hahn had counted for 3 and been to 4. But yet, while they've both been in AFL for 10 seasons at the same time, they had never met in the Super Bowl until Madden 13 Season 4. 9 seasons had gone by without them meeting in a bowl, and it wasn't because they were in the same conference. They've always been in separate conferences. Kind of surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. You would think that players that good and having so many bowls between them, they would have met at least once, and it's cool. I mean, lucky number 13, right?
Lucky number 13.
Or 14, rather.
Yeah, there you go, 14. So what's also cool about this is the first time ever we had a broadcasted Super Bowl. At this point in time, Shadow was messing with his live stream. He had his Shadow stream going on, which was just a great addition to AFL. He started to broadcast all of his games and had his microphone on and really just made the broadcast experience so great for his game. So he was the Browns at this point. He'd play his games, you'd see it, but you'd hear everything he was thinking. He'd scream at the television. It became must-see TV, Stokes.
Yes, I'm still happy to have been a part of his broadcast, or not been a part of, but just to listen to listen to him get mad and all that other good stuff. I mean, Shadow is wonderful. He's a great addition to the league when he's focused, and he was.
Yeah, when he's on, he's as good as it gets. He keeps the league together. But yeah, we'll get into what can happen to bad Shadow down the line. But what Shadow did for us this time around was, with the live stream functionality, he decided that he was going to Ridge stream the bowl for us on his laptop. Shadow then took his screen capture device on live stream and streamed Ridge's stream and announced the bowl with Dom. And it was the first time anybody that I am familiar with had done this in a Madden franchise game. Certainly the first time ever in AFL. Guys loved it. Shadow and Dom announced the game. And Stokes, it's little things like this, owners going the extra mile, that just separates AFL.
Absolutely, I could not agree more. It's fantastic when you got guys that want to put in that extra effort into the league, and that's really what separates us. And this is I think when the league started on the really big uptick, and we're still climbing today.
So Ridge takes on Hahn in the Super Bowl, and Ridge's Ravens beat Hahn's Seahawks. I don't remember the score, but we do have a highlight from that game. It's a hilarious one where Ridge kicks like a 65-yard field goal with Justin Tucker, and you hear Shadow go, and it's no good, but it actually was good. And then the announcers the refs put their hands up, and Shadow goes, "What?" So it's on that video that I will post later. But Ridge gets the victory over Hahn, a great Super Bowl, a dream matchup that many of us in AFL have been wanting to see. And then speaking of dream matchups, we resume the Ridge-Stokes rivalry. It had been 1-1, and now Ridge takes the lead as Ridge's Ravens send your Bills home in the conference championship game to get to the bowl. So now, Stokes, you're down 2-1. Are you starting to feel the pressure?
Well, of course. I mean, it's the guy I felt was my biggest rival in the league, and I always want to be ahead of that guy. And I know that when we play, it's going to come down to he knows what I'm going to run. I know what he's going to run. It's just a matter of who's going to get the first couple turnovers, who's going to get the good break, and it was a lot of fun because I knew he's going to do about as good a job as anybody of stopping my run game. And I always had to come up with something, new or some new wrinkle that I had to try and work into the game to try and get an upper hand on him.
So Ridge's Super Bowl path in the division round, he got revenge on Bailey, smashed Bailey's Steelers. It's worth noting that after Bailey beat Ridge in the conference championship game, they played on opening day the next season and Bailey won, and then the rest of Madden 13, Ridge never lost to Bailey's Steelers. So he gets the best of Bailey in the division round. He beats Stokes in the conference championship round. and then beats Han in the Super Bowl. So Stokes, at this point in time, you weren't here in Madden 11, neither was Han. Ridge is the only guy at this point in time to win a Super Bowl in all 3 versions of Madden for AFL. Now, you and Han, you at this point had won it for all the versions that you'd been there, but Ridge had won it for 3 different titles: Madden 11, Madden 12, Madden 13, and in my opinion, that's when you define somebody as elite.
Yeah, yeah. When you can be good over the course of multiple Maddens, absolutely. Because anybody can run into one or have one good Super Bowl run and then be mediocre or not great over the course of the next Madden or the Maddens after that, or even that particular Madden. But when you can prove that you're good and elite over the course of multiple Maddens, that's when you can really solidify that.
And this was the point in time where Han was running a lot of those fade routes and wheel routes, and his offense was just impossible to stop. And Ridge came up with a concept where he was dropping defensive linemen into deep blues, and his theory was the way they dropped back, they ended up getting into those lanes, and Han just didn't know what to do. Han will still talk about that defense to this day. So Ridge and Han meet for the first time ever in an AFL Super Bowl. It would not be the last time they meet in a Madden 13 Super Bowl. But at this point in time, Ridge has a bowl and Stokes has a bowl. One of them will get a bowl next season to break a tie. We're going to find out who it is on the next edition of AFL Madden History Timeline.